The world's introduction to probably one of the top 5 all-time classic movie heroes, the whip-slinging, scared-of-snakes, brown-clothed archaeologist Indiana Jones. I grew up watching the sequels to Raiders and the Lost Ark, but I didn't actually see this classic until 2004. It was my senior year of college, and a friend and I decided to take a scuba diving class, which involved traveling to the Bahamas for our final exam to get our open water diving certification. One rainy night in our hotel, we watched Raiders of the Lost Ark the way that Spielberg originally intended, on a 5-inch portable DVD player with the tiniest speakers available. Even on this less than stellar setup, I could tell I had been missing out on an all-time classic. Since that rainy night in 2004, I've probably seen this movie about half a dozen times, and I like it more each time that I watch it. I know this was heavily influenced by The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and I've always meant to watch that film, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Now, I'm pretty sure that everyone would agree that Spielberg propelled the action-adventure genre forward an entire generation with the release of this movie. He took the brown color palette and intense chase scenes from his feature debut Duel and turned them up a notch, making them more fun than ever. Seriously, this movie is very brown. Here is a photo of the entire film's color palette. It's just brown. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, and he is one of those characters that probably just would not work with anyone else in the title role. There were so many classic scenes in this that even if you haven't seen the movie, you definitely know some of the stuff that happens. My wife instantly knew the fate of one of the big bads in the movie because she recognized him from a famous GIF that she has seen 1,000 times before. Before this guy meets his mean GIF fate, he touches something that he shouldn't have touched, and his hand is branded. Now, there's no way that this scene didn't inspire the scene in Home Alone where Joe Pesci's character is branded in the exact same way. And the movie starts off strong with Indiana and friends going through a cave and stealing a treasure. The scene is truly iconic and has been redone over and over and over again, but none as good as the original. Unless, like me, you're a huge Weird Al fan and you like the opening scene to Weird Al's film UHF almost just as much. Now, much like Weird Al songs, I was familiar with Weird Al's spoof of Indiana Jones before I actually saw Indiana Jones. There is quite a bit of humor in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it's not a comedy. A part played for laughs in that opening scene features a bunch of tarantulas and demonstrates just how cool Indy is under pressure. I would have had a much different reaction to that situation. Now, from those opening moments, the movie never slows down. The pacing of the action is maybe the most perfect pacing of any action movie ever. There is not a moment to breathe because the action and adventure never slows down. And on top of that classic character who fits the every guy wants to be him and every girl wants to date him, and the plain but instantly recognizable outfit, we have one of the best movie scores of all time. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here, and I'm going to tell you one of the top 5 dumbest things I've ever said in my entire life. I used to work with a guy, and we talked movies a lot, and he once told me that John Williams was the best film composer of all time. I said I disagreed, and I found most of his music to be boring and generic. I don't know why I said this. I don't know why I would have ever even thought that, but I did. I called the guy who scored Jaws, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Home Alone, Jurassic Park, Superman, and E.T. generic. And that's not even all of his classic iconic movie scores. I'm just tired of listing them. And while Indiana Jones is the hero, he couldn't have done what he did without the help of his trusty sidekick slash love interest, Marion, played by Karen Allen, and one of my all-time favorite movie monkeys. I really enjoyed the chemistry between Harrison Ford and Karen Allen. They play off of each other so well. And what would a great adventure story be without a formidable foe? And in the 1930s, when this film takes place, there's only one choice for a bad guy: Nazis. Now, without Indiana Jones, we wouldn't have Dan Brown's Robert Langdon character or Nicolas Cage's Benjamin Franklin Gates character from the National Treasure movies, and we wouldn't have the incredible Uncharted video game series. Indiana Jones is a classic and is infinitely rewatchable. It has inspired so many great films, books, TV shows, and video games. I can't think of many other films that have had such a positive impact on my enjoyment throughout the years. Bringing a gun to a knife fight, giant pits of snakes, playing with a small monkey, punching shirtless Nazis, replacing priceless antiques with bags of sand, running from a giant, perfectly round boulder,